The more I think I'm like my mother.
2.
Do you get on well with both your parents?
Yes, I do. Most of the time. I do a lot of stuff with my dad. Football and things.
3.
Have you recently taken up any new sports or hobbies?
Me? No. My life's too busy already.
4.
Do you often look up words in your dictionary?
Sometimes, if I'm really stuck.
5.
Are you looking forward to going on holiday soon?
I wish. I've just been on holiday, so I've got to wait till Christmas now.
6.
Do you pick up foreign languages easily?
Well, I picked up Italian quite easily when I was living in Milan, but I already knew French, so I think that helped a bit.
7.
Have you got any bad habits that you want to give up?
Yes, I bite my nails. I just can't stop. And I'm a teacher, so I have to hide my hands from the kids, because I don't want to set a bad example.
Tape script 4.8. Polite requests and offers. 1.
I'll give you a lift into town if you like.
That would be great. Could you drop me at the library?
2.
It's a present. Do you think you could gift wrap it for me?
Yes, of course. I'll just take the price off.
3.
Pump number 5. And could you give me a token for the car wash?
I'm sorry, it's not working today.
4.
2 large Cokes, please.
Diet or regular?
5.
Can you tell me the code for Tokyo, please?
One moment, I'll have to look it up.
6.
Could you show me how you did that?
Certainly. Just go to Systems Preferences and click on Displays.
7.
Would you mind moving your car?
Oh, sorry. I didn't realise that you couldn't get through.
8.
Would you mind if I opened the window? Oh, go ahead. It's very stuffy in here.
Tape script 4.9. Music of English.
Could you show me how you did that?
Would you mind moving your car?
Tape script 4.10. Conversation 1.
Hello, it's me again. I've just remembered that I have a doctor's appointment in the morning. Could we possibly make it lunch instead of coffee?
No problem. I can do lunch too. How about 12:30 in the usual restaurant?
Conversation 2.
Would you mind if we didn't go out for a drink after work? I want to watch the match on TV.
Hey, we could have a drink at Bar Metro. They have a huge screen. We could both watch the match there.
You're on. A great idea.
Conversation 3.
So anyway, there I was, just finishing my report, when suddenly the boss calls me into his office and he starts...
Sorry, darling. I really do want to hear all about it, but the baby's crying. Do you think you could go and check him? He might need changing.
Conversation 4.
Help! Oh, I don't know what's gone wrong with my computer. The screen's frozen again.
I'll try and fix it if you like. I'm quite good with computers.
Oh, go ahead. Be my guest. I've had it with this machine.
Unit 5. Tape script 5.1. Things our grandchildren may never see.
Do you ever worry about what the world will be like when our grandchildren grow up?
Hang on. We haven't had our baby yet. I'm not thinking about grandchildren.
I know, but having a baby makes me wonder. What will the world be like when he or she grows up? Look at these pictures. Don't they make you worry about what could happen in the future?
OK. Of course, things are going to change a lot in the next 100 years, even in the next 50, but...
I know, and I'm getting worried. Everyone says global warming is a fact nowadays. No one says it may get warmer or it might get warmer anymore. Scientists say that it definitely will get warmer. It's going to be a very different world for our children and grandchildren.
Look, Hannah, it's no good worrying. Not all scientists think the same.
Yes, I know, but most do. Look, it says here over 2,500 climate scientists agree. They say temperatures might rise by up to 4 degrees centigrade before the end of the century. Dan, this is the world our son, or daughter, is going to grow up in.
Hannah, you've got to take it easy. You're having a baby soon and
I can't help being worried. If the Arctic ice melts, there'll be floods and the polar bears will have nowhere to live. Oh, look at this!
Come on, Hannah. Look, here. It also says humans are clever enough to find solutions. We'll do our bit, and we'll bring up our baby to do the same. Every little helps.
OK, but maybe it won't help. It may be too late already.
Tape script 5.2. What do you think will happen? 1.
Do you think the Earth will continue to get warmer?
Yes, I do. The more I read about it, the more I think it will. A few years ago, I wasn't so sure.
2.
Do you think all the ice will melt at the poles?
Well, I don't think all the ice will melt, but a lot has melted already. Do you know, a new island near Greenland has just appeared. They thought it was part of the mainland, but it was just an ice bridge and it melted. It's called Warming Island. A good name, don't you think?
3.
Do you think polar bears will become extinct?
I think they might. They only live in the Arctic, and I read that the ice there has decreased by 14% since the 1970s.
4.
Do you think more people will travel by train?
Definitely. I think lots more people will choose train travel when they can, especially across Europe. Of course, it won't always be possible to.
5.
Do you think that air travel will be banned to reduce CO2 emissions?
Well, I think it could become much more expensive to travel by air, but I don't think it'll be banned.
6.
Do you think new sources of energy will be found?
I hope so. Some people say nuclear energy is the only answer, but I think this could cause more problems. Actually, I like wind farms. They look amazing, but I know some people hate them.
7.
Do you think there'll be more droughts or more floods in the world?
I don't really know. There might be both droughts and floods. I think parts of London may be flooded. There's already a barrier across the River Thames to stop flooding.
8.
Do you think our lifestyles will have to change?
Definitely. They're already changing. We're told all the time to do things like drive smaller cars, use cleaner petrol and recycle our rubbish. That worries me a lot, the amount of rubbish we make.
Tape script 5.3. Discussing grammar. 1.
Have you decided about your holiday yet?
No, not yet. We've never been to Prague, so we might go there.
2.
Are you going to take an umbrella?
No, I'm not. The forecast says it'll be fine all day.
3.
Why are you making a list?
Because I'm going shopping. Is there anything you want?
4.
Would you like to go out for a drink tonight?
Sorry, I'm working late. How about tomorrow night? I'll call you.
5.
What are you doing Saturday night?
I'm not sure yet. I may go to friends or they may come to me.
6.
Are you enjoying your job more now?
No, I'm not. I'm going to look for another one.
7.
Your team's rubbish. It's 2-0 to United. Come on, it's only half-time. I think they could still win.
8.
You won't pass your exams next month if you go out every night.
I know. I'll work harder nearer the time, I promise.
Tape script 5.4. World weather warnings. 1. The British Isles.
A prolonged period of heavy rain and thunderstorms will affect parts of the country on Friday and into Saturday. Rainfall could total 20 to 30 millimetres in the south, but there may be up to 60 to 90 millimetres in the north and Scotland. The heavy rain might lead to flooding in some areas.
2. Canada.
High winds following in the path of Hurricane Gloria will head north from the U.S. overnight. They could reach up to 160 kilometers per hour and may cause damage to buildings across northwest Ontario. These winds are going to bring with them high temperatures across the country and thunderstorms in many areas.
3. Hungary.
The country's heat wave is going to continue. Temperatures could rise to more than 40 degrees Celsius by midday tomorrow. Budapest City Council are going to send out teams of workers to distribute 22,000 bottles of drinking water to local people. Meteorologists say that temperatures will continue to rise until the end of the week.
4. Mexico.
Tropical storm Barbara is forming rapidly over the coast and will move towards land. Winds of 110 kilometers an hour are expected, and they could reach the popular tourist destination of Acapulco over the next few days. Hotels and houses may have to be evacuated. Meteorologists say that the winds might even reach hurricane status.
5. South Africa.
For the first time in 25 years, forecasters in Johannesburg are predicting snow. Up to 10 centimetres could fall during the night, and this is causing much excitement throughout the city. SABC News is reporting that some parents are going to take their children to the local parks after midnight to play in the snow. Tambo International Airport may be affected.
Tape script 5.5. 1.
I think it'll be a cold night tonight. Wrap up warm if you go out.
2.
I think I'll get a new computer. I want a laptop this time.
3.
I think I'll do a cookery course. I can't even boil an egg.
4.
I think you'll like the film. It's a great story and really well cast.
5.
I think we'll get to the airport in time, but we'd better get a move on.
6.
I think you'll get the job. You've got all the right qualifications.
Tape script 5.6. 1.
I don't think it'll be a cold night tonight. You won't need to take a jacket.
2.
I don't think I'll get a new computer. It may seem old-fashioned to you, but it's okay for me.
3.
I don't think I'll do a cookery course. I'll get lessons from my mum.
4.
I don't think you'll like the film. It's not really your kind of thing.
5.
I don't think we'll get to the airport in time. There's too much traffic.
6.
I don't think you'll get the job. You're too young and you've got no experience.
Tape script 5.7. Rocket Man.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me back again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. No, no, no. I'm a rocket man. Rocket man, spending all his days up here alone.
Steve Bennett's ambition was to be a rocket scientist. A few years ago he almost won a £10 million prize, the X Prize. Now Steve is building a rocket that will take him and 2 passengers up into space. He believes that space tourism is not really that far away.
Space tourism is just about to happen. There are quite a lot of people around the world actually putting a lot of money into space tourism, so it's simply a question of when, not if. You know, just as the internet made billionaires, well, space tourism is going to make trillionaires. And all the big names are at it. You've got Jeff Bezos, he did Amazon.com, he's building his own spaceship. You've got Richard Branson, even he's commissioning somebody to build a spaceship for him. So it really is going to happen.
And what are you intending to take people into space in? What is your rocket?
A rocket that can carry 3 people into space. We're not going into orbit, it's going straight up, straight down. But it will go into space, it'll give you about 3 or 4 minutes of weightlessness, you'll see the blackness of space, the curvature of the Earth, and you really will truly become an astronaut, just like the early American astronauts.
And you're going to be one of the people who goes up, so it's going to be you and 2 space tourists. Have you been up in this exact rocket before, Steve?
No, we're still working on this one. We've launched 16 big rockets to date, but this actual space tourism rocket called Thunderstar, we're still working on it, we're still building it. I was influenced as a small child watching too many episodes of Thunderbirds, I think.
Were you very much struck by the first moon landings as well?
Yep, I was about 5 years old when they landed on the moon. My parents wouldn't let me stay up to watch the actual landing, which is a bit of a shame.
How mean.
Yeah, well, they just didn't get it. Oh, it's marvellous, but they should spend the money on something better kind of attitude.
Lots of young boys will have had exactly that kind of experience themselves, but very few of them will now have a business that is making rockets. Did you always feel that eventually you would get to do it professionally?
I kept it pretty quiet. 10, 15 years ago, you start talking about space tourism and people, they think you're nuts, so you keep that kind of thing to yourself.
Why do we really need to do that, though? I mean, is there actually any necessity to have more humans in space?
Well, that's pretty much where the human race needs to be, you know, in terms of expansion. You know, there's enough resources in space to allow the human race to continue to grow and expand for the next 10,000 years.
What kind of training do you have to do in order to go up in the rocket?
Actually, one of the most important things we do is skydive training. We feel that if you haven't got what it takes to jump out of an airplane with a parachute, you really shouldn't be strapping yourself to the top of a 17-ton rocket.
These 2 other people who've already booked their place on your Thunderstar, do you know who they are?
Absolutely, I've taken the money.
Right.
Well, it's a couple, it's 2 people that want to fly in space, and they came to me a few years ago. And basically they said, Steve, you want to fly in the rocket, here's the money, and they paid me £500,000 for it.
And how often do you consider the possibility that something might go wrong?
I think about it every day, you know. I've built a lot of rockets, most of them have worked really well, some haven't, and I think about that every day.
Tape script 5.8. Spoken English. 1.
Did your team win?
No, but they played pretty well all the same.
2.
You haven't lost your mobile phone again?
No, I'm pretty sure it's in my bag somewhere.
3.
Do you enjoy skiing?
I do, but I'm pretty hopeless at it.
4.
What do you think of my English?
I think it's pretty good.
Tape script 5.9.
My cause for concern. The thing I'm concerned about at the moment is the influence that video games may have on children. Let me explain why. I've been reading lots of newspaper articles on the subject, and I also have a personal interest. You see, I have a younger brother, Craig. He's 13 years old, and I'm afraid he's becoming a video game addict. Just a few years ago, Craig had many interests. He played football, he was learning judo, he went out on his bike with his friends. He was a happy, fun-loving boy. Now he spends hours every day in front of a screen, in a virtual world, playing virtual games, usually violent ones, and he becomes really angry if our parents tell him to stop. Research shows that today 40% of family homes have computers, so there is plenty of opportunity for very young children to start using them. And by the age of 7, many have developed an interest in video games. This is not a problem for most of them. However, by their early teens, a small minority have become addicts, playing for at least 30 hours a week. Dr. Mark Griffiths of Nottingham Trent University, an expert in video addiction, finds this figure very worrying. He says that children may become so addicted that they stop doing homework, start playing truant, and even steal money in order to buy the games. I have 2 more concerns. Firstly, I worry that the violence in the games could cause children to become more violent. My brother isn't violent, but he is certainly bad-tempered if he is stopped from playing. Secondly, I worry that sitting without exercise for so long is bad for the health. Craig often plays 5 hours a day, and some days his thumbs are really painful and he can't sleep because he's overexcited. His schoolwork is going from bad to worse. Finally, Dr. Griffiths says that more research is needed, but I don't need to read more research to conclude that video games cause problems. He should come and meet my brother. That's all the evidence he needs.
Tape script 5.10. 1.
Bob and Jan don't get on at all. They disagree about everything.
2.
Money doesn't always lead to happiness.
3.
My aunt says today's kids are all rude and impolite.
4.
Thanks for your advice. It was really helpful. I really appreciate your kindness.
5.
My dad's useless at fixing his computer. I always have to help him.
6.
Please don't misunderstand me. I didn't mean to be unkind. I'm really sorry.
7.
Timmy fell off his bike and hit his head. He was unconscious for a few hours.
8.
What was your wife's reaction when she heard you'd won the lottery?
Tape script 5.11. Changing word stress.
Advertise.
Advertisement.
Imagine.
Imagination.
Prefer.
Preference.
Employer.
Employee.
Tape script 5.12. 1.
The doctors are going to operate on my grandma's knee.
Oh dear!
Don't worry, it's not a serious operation.
2.
Did you explain the homework to Maria?
I did, but I don't think she understood my explanation.
3.
I couldn't find the book I wanted in the library.
Did you ask the librarian? She'll tell you if they have it.
4.
Can I have a copy of that photograph?
Yes, of course. I'm not a great photographer, but this one's okay, isn't it?
It is. Usually I can't stand photos of me.
Tape script 5.13. Arranging to meet.
Mike, it's me, Gary.
Gary, long time no see. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Listen, I'm coming up to town next weekend and I was wondering if we could meet.
Oh dear, I'd love to. But this weekend of all weekends, I am so busy.
Look, you must have some free time.
Yeah, I'll just get my diary. Hang on. OK, shoot.
Right. What are you doing Friday evening?
Friday evening? That's my Spanish class. Our company's going to do a lot of work in Spain, so we're all learning Spanish. But I finish work early on Friday. I could meet you in the afternoon.
No, I'm afraid that's no good. My train doesn't get in until 7 o'clock. Have you got any free time on Saturday?
Let me see. What about Saturday afternoon? I'm having my hair cut in the morning, and then I'm meeting my sister for lunch, but I'm free in the afternoon.
Oh, no, sorry. Saturday afternoon I can't. I've got an appointment with an estate agent. I'm going to look around one of those amazing new flats by the river. Didn't I tell you? I'm changing jobs and moving back to the big city.
Hey, great news, Gary. I knew that small-town life wasn't your thing.
Yeah. So, what about Saturday evening? Is Saturday evening any good?
Sorry, the evening's out for me. I'm going to the theatre with friends. We've had it booked for ages. But, hang on, what time are you leaving on Sunday?
Late morning. I'm getting the 11:55 train.
Hey, I've got an idea. Why don't we meet at the station?
Good idea. We could have coffee together.
I've got an even better idea. They do a great full English breakfast at the cafe. Let's meet there for breakfast. Shall we say about 10 o'clock?
Sounds good to me. But can you make it 10:30? It is Sunday.
Fine. 10:30 it is. I'll see you then. Bye, Gary. Hope you like the flat.
Fingers crossed. Bye, Mike. See you Sunday.
Tape script 5.14. Music of English. 1,
I was wondering if we could meet.
2,
I could meet you in the afternoon.
3,
What about Saturday afternoon?
4,
Is Saturday evening any good?
5,
Why don't we meet at the station? Let's meet there for breakfast.
6,
Shall we say about 10 o'clock?
7.
Can you make it 10:30?
Unit 6. Tape script 6.1. Describing people. 1,
What's she like?
She's really nice. Very easygoing.
2,
What does she look like?
She's quite tall and pretty.
3,
What does she like doing?
She likes dancing and shopping.
4,
How tall is she?
5'8".
5,
What colour eyes has she got?
Brown.
6,
How old is she?
She's in her 20s.
7,
What kind of clothes does she wear?
Not smart. Casual. She has a lot of style.
8,
What's her hair like?
It's sort of long, fair and wavy.
9.
How is she?
She's fine.
Tape script 6.2. Describing places. 1,
What's your flat like?
It's quite modern, but it's cosy.
2,
How big is it?
About 75 square metres.
3,
How many rooms are there?
A kitchen diner, a living room and a bedroom.
4,
What size is the kitchen?
4 metres by 2.
5,
Which floor is it on?
The 4th.
6,
Which part of town is it in?
It's south of the river.
7,
How far is it to the shops?
Just a 5-minute walk.
Tape script 6.3. Describing things. 1,
What make is it?
Sony.
2,
How much does it weigh?
1.3 kilograms.
3,
What's it made of?
Carbon and titanium.
4,
What's this button for?
It turns it on.
5,
How big is the screen?
13.2 inches.
6,
How long is the battery life?
8 hours.
7,
What size is the hard disk?
80 gigabytes.
Tape script 6.4. Getting information. 1,
What sort of bread do you have?
2,
What flavour ice cream would you like?
3,
Which way do we go?
4,
What make is your camera?
5,
What kind of food do you like?
6,
Whose top are you wearing?
7,
How long does it take to get to the airport?
8,
How far is your house from the beach?
9,
How often do you go to the cinema?
10.
How many of you want coffee?
11.
What size shoes do you take?
Tape script 6.5.
Fresh fruit.
Latest fashions.
Pretty woman.
Clear sky.
Fast food.
Crowded restaurant.
Casual clothes.
Close friend.
Handsome man.
Straight hair.
Cozy room.
Challenging job.
Tape script 6.6. 1.
Peter and I lived together at university.
2.
He's a good student. He tries hard.
3.
Where's the town hall?
Go straight on.
4.
Say that again. I didn't hear you.
5.
Don't talk so loud. Everyone can hear you.
6.
Why do you drive so fast? Slow down.
7.
His wife's name is Sue, not Sally. Get it right.
8.
The holiday was a disaster. Everything went wrong.
9.
This room is cool, even in summer.
10.
Are you ready?
Almost. Give me another 5 minutes.
Tape script 6.7. My most treasured possession. 1. Amy.
I would have to save my photo albums. They've got all the photos of my kids when they were babies. Their first steps, you know, when they walked for the first time, their birthday parties, their first day at school, and all the holidays we had together. All those memories are irreplaceable.
2. Jack.
I know it sounds a bit sad, but I would have to say my computer. Not very sentimental, but very practical. It's got all my work, all my email contacts, several thousand photos, address books, and my work diary for the next year. I just couldn't live without it.
3. Lucy.
I have a matching hairbrush and hand mirror that belonged to my grandmother. She was given them as a wedding present, and she gave them to me before she died. I don't use them, but they're always on the shelf in my bedroom, and every time I see them I think of her. They're solid silver, and they're quite heavy. They're not particularly pretty, but they have immense sentimental value.
Tape script 6.8. My closest relative. Ellie.
The person that I'm closest to in my family is probably my mother. She's the kind of person you can talk to about anything. She's very open, my mother, and I can talk to her about boyfriends, stuff that's bothering me at work, friendships, anything. We have our ups and downs, of course, but basically we have an easy relationship. We go shopping together. What I like about her is her attitude. She's quite young at heart, like me, not old-fashioned or anything like that.
Simon.
I'm closest to my grandmother. My father I don't really get on with. We don't really see eye to eye about anything. My mother, I hardly ever see. She's too busy. My grandmother and I like doing the same things. We like watching TV and having a glass of wine together. We love playing cards. And I think emotionally I'm closer to her than I am to my parents, because she and I have a similar attitude to life. I think we both like people. We're quite outgoing, sociable and open.
Julia.
The person I'm closest to in my family, I think, would be my father. We stay up late listening to music and talking a lot. What I like about him is that he's interesting and interested. He has a curiosity about life. We can talk about anything and everything. We have the same sense of humour, the same love of life. My friends all love him because he's such a good laugh. He doesn't care what people think of him. And I reckon that's great. He's pretty cool, my dad.
Tessa.
I think the person that I'm probably closest to is my sister. The thing I love about her is the way everyone knows her. It doesn't matter where we go, everyone says, "Hi Nina, how you doing?" I'm just her little sister, so people call me Baby Nina, but that's fine. We're so different. We have blazing rows. She's so hyperactive and loud, she can't sit still. She has to have people around her, and everyone loves her. In many ways, she drives me crazy. She just can't think straight. Me, I'm a lot quieter. I'm happy on my own, but we're so proud of each other.
Chris.
I'm closest to my twin, Nick. Obviously, we have so much in common. The same friends, the same football team, the same music. We go everywhere together. But we have amazing rows about everything. We're like chalk and cheese. I'm like my mum, calm and easygoing. Nick's like my dad, very bad-tempered. They fight like cat and dog. But things have changed between me and Nick now we're older. We appreciate each other more. The biggest difference is probably interests. I'm into all things history and politics, and Nick's interested in science and nature. But of course, we're a lot closer than just brothers and sisters. In a way, we're like one. I would trust him like I would trust no one else.
Tape script 6.9. In a department store. 1.
Morning.
Hello, I'd like to try on these shoes, please.
Certainly, sir. What size do you take?
9. That's 41, isn't it?
No. I think you'll find 43 would be more comfortable, sir.
2.
Have you got these football shorts for age 10 to 11?
I'm afraid that's all we have. We've sold out of that size.
Will you be getting any more in?
We should be getting a delivery by the end of the week.
3.
Do you have any sofas like this in stock?
No, madam. They all have to be ordered.
How long does delivery take?
It all depends, but on average about 8 weeks.
4.
Yes, madam?
I'd like this fruit bowl, please.
Certainly. Is it a present?
Yes, it is.
Would you like me to gift wrap it?
Oh, that would be lovely. Thank you so much.
5.
I like this.
How does it feel?
Really good. I love the colour, but the size is wrong. It doesn't fit me. It's too tight.
Shame, it really suits you. What's it made of?
Cashmere. It's so soft.
6.
Yes, sir?
I'll have this coffee maker, please.
Certainly. Have you got a store card?
No, just a debit card.
That's fine. PIN number, please? Keep your receipt. That's your guarantee.
How long is it guaranteed for?
For a year.
Unit 7. Tape script 7.1. J.K. Rowling, author and billionaire. The early years.
Joanne Kathleen Rowling, author of the best-selling Harry Potter series of books, was born in 1965 near Bristol, England. Her birthday, July the 31st, is the same as her famous hero Harry Potter.
School days.
Joanne did well in school. Her favourite subjects were English and foreign languages, and she studied French at university. She graduated in 1986, and over the next few years had a variety of jobs. However, her passion was writing. She'd written her first story, Rabbit, about a rabbit with measles, aged 6.
Harry Potter is born.
She started writing the first Harry Potter book in 1990. The idea for Harry, a lonely 11-year-old orphan who is actually a wizard, came to Rowling while she was travelling by train between Manchester and London. Although she left England a short time after that to teach English in Portugal, she continued to write Harry's story. She returned to Britain in 1993 and settled in Scotland. After a brief marriage in Portugal, she was now divorced with a baby, Jessica. It was a difficult time. She was out of work and depressed, but finally completed her first book, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. It was published in Britain in 1997 and quickly became a hit with both children and adults.
J.K. Rowling today.
J.K.R. has been writing Harry Potter books for nearly 20 years. She writes in longhand, and each book takes 1 year to complete. She has now completed the series of 7 Harry Potter books. The last book, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, came out in July 2007. Her books have won numerous awards, including Children's Book of the Year. She married her second husband, Dr. Neil Murray, in 2001, and has since had 2 more children, a boy, David, born in 2003, and a girl, Mackenzie, born in 2005.
Fans all over the world.
The books have been translated into over 60 languages, and over 300 million copies have been sold worldwide. The first 6 books have been made into films. She has become the highest-earning woman in Britain, richer than the Queen. She has made over £600 million, more than $1 billion. This makes her the first person ever to have become a billionaire from writing books.
Tape script 7.2. 1.
Where and when was she born?
She was born near Bristol, in England, in 1965.
2.
When did she write her first story? What was it about?
She wrote her first story when she was 6. It was about a rabbit with measles.
3.
What was she doing when she had the idea for Harry Potter?
She was travelling by train between Manchester and London.
4.
Where did she teach English?
In Portugal.
5.
When was the first Harry Potter book published?
In 1997.
6.
How long has she been writing the books?
For nearly 20 years.
7.
How many has she written?
7.
8.
How many children has she had?
3.
9.
How many books have been sold?
Over 300 million copies.
10.
Which books have been made into films?
The first 6.
11.
How much money has she made?
She's made over £600 million.
12.
How many authors have become billionaires?
Only one. Her.
Tape script 7.3. Jack, age 10, talks about Harry Potter.
So, Jack, I know you love Harry Potter. How long have you been a fan of the books?
I think since I was about 5, but I was so small I couldn't read yet, and my mum read them to me.
How many of the books have you read?
I've read them all. Well, not all exactly.
What do you mean?
Well, I didn't like Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, so I didn't finish it.
Ah, which did you like best?
I liked all the others, but not that one. It was too samey. It was boring because it was just like the one before.
Have you seen any of the Harry Potter films?
Yes, I have.
Which have you seen?
I've seen them all, every one.
And did you like them all?
Yes, I did. I thought they were fantastic. But my brother didn't. He got scared. He didn't like the Chamber of Secrets, the bit where the basilisk attacked.
The what?
The basilisk. It's kind of a huge snake, and it attacked Harry Potter.
Oh, I bet a lot of children were frightened by it.
I wasn't.
Jack, have you any idea how many Harry Potter books have been sold in the world?
I don't know. Millions? Maybe 20 million?
Not quite. It's 300 million.
300 million? Wow, that's a lot of books.
And what do you know about the author?
I know it's J.K. Rowling, and she's got 2 children. I wonder if they've read their mum's books.
She has 3 children, actually. Have a lot of your friends read the books?
Yes, every single one.
What? All your friends?
Yeah, definitely. All of them.
That's amazing. Now, I know as well as Harry Potter you have another passion.
Yeah, football. I'm a big Blackburn Rovers fan. They're brilliant.
Are they? And how long have you been playing football?
Since I could walk. I'd rather play football than do anything else in the world.
So if I asked you, what would you rather do this afternoon? Read a Harry Potter or play football?
You know the answer.
Tape script 7.4. Discussing grammar. 1.
His plane took off a few minutes ago.
2.
The president has resigned and a new president has been elected.
3.
I've been working in Dubai since last March. When did you arrive?
4.
How many emails have you sent?
5.
What have you been doing in the bathroom? You've been in there for ages.
6.
A huge snowstorm has hit New York. Over 40 centimetres of snow has fallen in the past 12 hours. People have been advised to stay at home.
Tape script 7.5. Calvin Klein, a passion for fashion.
How long has Calvin Klein been interested in fashion?
Oh, since he was about 14. When he was a teenager, he spent hours sketching women's suits and dresses.
What different kinds of clothes has he designed in his career?
He's designed sportswear and underwear, but he's possibly most famous for his jeans, which always have his name on the back pocket.
How many times has he been married and divorced?
He's been married twice and divorced twice. His first wife was Jane Center. He met her when they were both fashion students. His second wife was Kelly Rector. She was a rich New York socialite and photographer.
How many children does he have?
Just one, a daughter, Marcy, who is now a successful television producer.
How many awards has he won?
He's won 7 fashion awards altogether. He made history because he won awards for both men's and women's fashions in the same year.
How long has he been making his own perfumes?
He's been making Calvin Klein perfumes since the late 80s.
What are they called?
His first were called Obsession and Eternity. His most recent is called Euphoria. His others include Truth and Crave, which was designed for men.
Which famous people has he worked with and designed for?
He's worked with the model Kate Moss and designed clothes for many stars, including Julia Roberts, Gwyneth Paltrow and Helen Hunt. He's also worked with Brooke Shields, who, aged 15, modelled his jeans with the famous line, "Nothing comes between me and my Calvins."
How long has he been selling cosmetics?
Since the 1990s. These are only sold in the best department stores, such as Harrods in London and Bloomingdale's in New York.
Tape script 7.6. Spoken English. 1.
How long are you here for?
4 more days. We came 2 days ago.
2.
How long have you been here?
Since Monday.
3.
How long are you here for?
Until Friday. We're leaving Friday morning.
4.
How long have you been here?
Over half an hour. Where have you been?
5.
How long are you here for?
We're staying a month altogether.
Tape script 7.7. Things I'm passionate about. Julia.
I'm really passionate about playing tennis. I've been playing nearly 20 years. I was about 7 or 8 when I started having lessons, and I had a fantastic teacher. I think that's why I still love it. She was passionate about the sport and that influenced me. I've played in competitions, mainly when I was at school. I still do sometimes. I enjoy it, I think, because it's a very psychological game. I mean, if you're playing badly, you have to push yourself to continue. It's a challenge not to give up. It's also a very sociable sport. I've made lots of friends playing doubles, and it's a game that doesn't have to be expensive. Anyone can play. All you need is a tennis racket. You don't need expensive clothing or equipment like you do for skiing, and it's a fantastic way to keep fit all year round. There's only about 3 months that you can't play. When I lived in Australia, I played every week of the year. I adored that. It was brilliant.
Paul.
My passion at the moment is horse riding. It's strange to hear myself say that because I've only been doing it about a year and I never imagined I'd be so keen on it. It all happened because I was talking to someone who rode horses and I said that stupid thing people often say, "Oh, I've always wanted to do that." And she said, "Why don't you then?" And I thought, why not? I've always liked horses. They're so big and powerful, but so beautiful when you see them racing round a field or on a track. It amazes me that they let people ride on their backs. Riding is very physically demanding because your body has to be in harmony. It has to move with the horse, but it keeps you fit. Of course, I have fallen off a few times, but it seems that the more you fall, the less it hurts. Also, you have to try and understand your horse. They have moods. You never quite know what a ride is going to be like. A horse you had a fantastic ride on one week can be slow and miserable the next week. I really like that about horses. They have personalities.
Andrew.
I'm passionate about poetry. I studied English literature at university, but it wasn't until after I graduated that I really got into poetry, and I started writing some myself. And I met some other people who wrote poetry, and I heard them read it aloud, and that was amazing. I felt the power of the words. The thing I like so much about it is that you can say so much with just a few words. So little means a lot. Each word, each noun, adjective, preposition has to work hard. There's a poem by Simon Armitage called To His Lost Lover. It's a poem of regret, about not saying the things you should have said in a relationship. It has it all for me. Poetry's all about saying what often goes unsaid and with passion. It can be such a help in your life. If you feel tired or depressed, you can always find a poem that will help. It can be short or long. It doesn't matter.
James.
The thing I'm passionate about, and this may surprise many people, is, British weather. I know lots of people can't stand our weather. They complain about it all the time, but I love it. You see, when I was a child, my family lived in California for 5 years, and we had about 365 days of sunshine every year. It was so boring. I was 10 when we came back to England, and I just loved all the changes in the weather. Here you really appreciate the sunshine, and you notice the seasons. For me, one of nature's miracles is after a long, hot, sunny day, there's a thunderstorm or a downpour of rain, and you go out in the garden and you can smell the freshness in the air. The world has been washed clean and bright. It's magic. And you know, it's a myth that it rains all the time. It doesn't. Anyway, it's the rain that gives us our green fields. You know that joke, if you don't like English weather, wait 10 minutes. That's why it's interesting.
Harriet.
Something I feel really passionately about is fox hunting. My grandmother, mother and uncles have always been keen on hunting, and I started when I was about 6. We hunt up in the Welsh mountains. We go out from about 11 a.m. and we don't get back till after dark. And the thing I love best about it is that you are away from everything and everyone, up in the hills, and you work together with horses and dogs. And if you're following a clever fox, you can see him working out how to lose the dogs. He knows the countryside so well, where the holes are, where to hide. Where we hunt in Wales, it's a sheep farming area, so the farmers contact us if they have a problem with a fox. We only hunt on their land if we are asked. I don't hunt so much now because the laws have changed.
Unit 7. Extra Ideas. Song. Somewhere Only We Know. Tape script 7.8. Music of English.
How fantastic!
Absolutely.
Did you?
What a pity.
Tape script 7.9. Pleasure.
That's great!
Lovely.
Agreement.
Definitely.
Fair enough.
Fine.
Surprise.
You didn't. You did what?
Sympathy.
That's a shame.
That's too bad.
Bad luck.
Tape script 7.10.
My grandfather hasn't been too well lately.
Oh dear.
He's 79. Don't you think at his age he should slow down a bit?
Absolutely.
But he won't listen to me. He says he wants to enjoy his life to the full.
Well, fair enough.
Last summer, he went on a 2-week cycling holiday in France.
You're kidding.
We're going to give him a big party for his 80th birthday.
That's great.
But before that, I'm going to have a word with him and tell him to take things more easy.
Good for you.
Tape script 7.11. 1.
My boyfriend's just asked me to marry him.
Did he? How fantastic! Did you say yes?
2.
Will spaghetti bolognese be okay for dinner?
Of course. That's great. It's one of my favourites.
3.
There's a strike at the airport, so my holiday's been cancelled.
Oh dear, that's a shame. Will you get your money back?
4.
I failed my driving test again.
You didn't. That's too bad. Better luck next time.
5.
We're expecting a baby.
Are you? Congratulations. When's it due?
6.
So you think I should save to buy a car, not borrow the money?
Definitely. You've already got too many debts.
7.
I told him I never wanted to see him again.
You're kidding! What a pity. I always thought the two of you were so good together.
Unit 8. Tape script 8.1. Don't worry, Mum. 1.
Hey there. Just a quick email to say, Mum, please don't freak out about the photos. It looks much worse than it was. I don't remember anyone taking the pics, and I've no idea who posted them on my Facebook website. I know you'll hate to hear this, but yes, I'd had a drink or two, but it was pitch black dark, and I was trying to climb up to the top bunk bed. Unfortunately, my head hit the corner of the bed before I did. A metal bunk bed. Anyway, a scream of pain and lots of blood later. Ooh, and I forgot to mention the ambulance ride to hospital. But now I'm fine. It's impossible to see the scar on my head. I didn't want to say anything at the time for obvious reasons. Sorry if it shocked you. Speak soon. Lots of love from hot, sweaty, rainy Cairns. Miss you and love you so much. Kate.
2.
Hey, Ma. Must be quick 'cause late. Just feel I need to warn you. I met some awesome Aussies last night. They're planning to go to London next month. I said I was sure you'd like to meet them, so I gave them your number. I hope you don't mind putting them up for a few nights. They're all good guys. Can't remember their names, but I know you'll make them feel at home. They're looking forward to meeting you. Hope to speak to you soon. Dan.
3.
Hello, Mum, Dad and Izzy. Had a great time yesterday. We went piranha fishing on the Amazon in a canoe. Victor told us to throw bits of meat into the water to attract the fish, but we didn't manage to catch anything. We stopped to camp on the banks in the evening and really enjoyed watching the sunset and swimming in the dark. Unfortunately, we'd forgotten to bring a torch, so we're lucky to escape from the crocodile. Love to all, William.
4.
Dear parents, last night we arrived at the most fantastic hotel in Arequipa, Peru. It's great to be in a room with an ensuite bathroom. We expected to have a good night's sleep, but woke when an earthquake struck about 2 a.m. Panic not, Mother. You'll be pleased to hear that no one was hurt. We fell asleep again shortly after, and everyone felt fine in the morning, despite the holes in the walls and ceilings. We're thinking of staying here 2 more days. I'll let you know our plans. Lots of love, Sally. Kiss.
Tape script 8.2. 1.
When we saw the photos, we couldn't help feeling worried.
2.
The photos made it look worse than it really was.
3.
Your friends must promise to keep their room tidy.
4.
It's really kind of you to let them stay.
5.
Did Victor help you escape from the crocodile?
6.
He warned us not to go swimming.
7.
We couldn't help feeling a bit scared.
8.
Have you decided to come home yet?
Tape script 8.3. Phoning home.
Kate, it's so good to hear from you. Are you okay?
Oh, Mum, I'm really sorry for worrying you so much. I really didn't mean to.
We opened our emails and we were so delighted to see all your photos, and then we saw that one.
I didn't want my friends to post it on Facebook. I asked them not to.
But Kate, all that blood. And you went to hospital. We couldn't help feeling worried.
I know, but honestly, Mum, my friends made me go to the hospital. I really didn't need to.
How is your head now?
Absolutely fine, honestly. I'll email you some more photos and you can see for yourself.
OK. Don't forget to.
I'll call again soon, and I promise to text regularly. Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Tape script 8.4. Spoken English. 1.
Did you post my letter?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to.
2.
I can't go out with you this evening. Sorry.
Oh, but you promised to.
3.
Why did you email your mother again?
Because she asked me to.
4.
Do you think you'll apply for that job?
Yes, I've definitely decided to.
5.
Are you taking your brother to the airport?
Well, I offered to, but he said he didn't want me to.
Tape script 8.5. Fears and phobias. 1. Jodie.
I have a really unusual phobia. It began when I was a little girl. I was staying with my grandmother and she asked me to go upstairs and get her cardigan. I opened the cupboard and saw this big, dark green cardigan with huge black buttons hanging there. I was terrified. I started screaming. My grandmother rushed upstairs and finally managed to calm me down. But from then on it was a problem. It was the buttons. All buttons made me feel uncomfortable. It's difficult for me to buy clothes. I try to find skirts and trousers with just belts and zips, but it's not easy. About a year ago, a button came off a colleague's jacket at work, and I had a panic attack. I've decided to see a psychotherapist, but I'm embarrassed to say I'm scared of buttons. It sounds silly.
2. Gavin.
I'm not sure what first started my phobia, but my dad used to go fishing, and afterwards I didn't like watching him cleaning the fish in the kitchen sink. Then, when I was about 7, I started feeling afraid when I saw him coming home with a fish. He had to stop catching it. As I grew up, the problem got worse and worse. I couldn't go into supermarkets. The sight of fish made me feel sick. When I started going out with my wife, I had to ask her never to eat fish. I didn't go to restaurants because once I saw someone eating an oyster and I had a panic attack. I can only eat in hamburger bars now. It makes life very difficult for my whole family. I've started to see a psychologist, but I haven't succeeded in conquering my phobia yet.
3. Melissa.
I'm 13 years old, and I've been terrified of balloons since I was 5. I was trying to blow one up, and it popped in my face. I can remember feeling the rubber on my skin. Ooh, it was awful. My friends don't understand. They enjoy chasing me around with blown-up balloons because they think it's fun to see me cry. Last time we were in the school playground and I had a panic attack. At first they refused to believe me and they didn't get the teacher, but then they saw how bad it was. I was having difficulty breathing and they got frightened. The worst thing is that I can't go to parties. If I do, I have to ask them not to have balloons. I can't imagine ever blowing one up. I can't even look at them on TV. I start to shake. I want to see somebody about it. My teacher says I have to.
Tape script 8.6. The psychologist's view.
Human beings are programmed to be afraid of things that can hurt them. Show a baby a picture of a snake or a big poisonous spider and the baby will show fear. It's in our DNA. We're all afraid of some things and that's good. But a phobia causes absolute terror, with physical symptoms such as a racing heart, sickness and panic attacks. Phobias are usually the result of a bad experience. For example, a car crash can cause a fear of driving. But it's often just fear of ordinary things like balloons or a particular food. Some people are more likely to get phobias than others. It's in their genes. My job is to train people to conquer their phobia. First we just talk about it and help the patient relax. Then we might show just a picture or cartoon of their phobia. After that we sometimes show a film. And finally, we ask them to touch the object. In this way, phobias can normally be treated in just 3 or 4 sessions.
Tape script 8.7. 1.
The cat got up the tree easily enough, but I had to climb a ladder to get her down.
2.
Daniel, stop staring out of the window and get on with your work.
3.
Since you whistled that tune, I can't get it out of my head.
4.
I hate it when my Aunt Mary hugs me tight. She wears this disgusting perfume and I smell of it afterwards.
5.
Bob's hopeless at all sports. He can't even kick a football.
6.
You'd better lick your ice cream. It's melting.
7.
Do people kneel down to pray in all religions?
8.
I keep trying to stop biting my nails, but I can't. It's a terrible habit.
9.
I'm terrified of blowing up balloons in case they go pop.
10.
Don't scratch that insect bite. You'll get an infection.
11.
By the end of the concert, we were all clapping our hands to the music.
12.
The tourist guide pointed at a place on the map.
13.
My dad's useless at doing DIY. He can't even hit a nail with a hammer.
14.
My 2-year-old nephew is so cute. He loves marching up and down like a soldier.
Tape script 8.8. Travel and numbers.
15.
50.
406.
72.
178.
90.
19.
850.
1520.
17.5.
36.
247.
5,000.
180,575.
2 million.
Tape script 8.9. 1.
What time does the train leave?
13:45.
2.
How far is it to Moscow?
1,915 kilometres.
3.
How long's the flight?
About 1.5 hours.
4.
How much does it cost?
£34.99.
5.
What's your credit card number?
6356 5055 5137 9904.
6.
What's the expiry date?
0214.
7.
How much does it weigh?
27 kilos.
8.
What's your mobile number?
07700 984 361.
9.
What's the rate of VAT?
17.5%.